Hello, I am Renee from Group 1 of English 3060 at Wayne State University, and joining me in this presentation today is going to be Madeline, Emilio, Matt, and Razib. We are here to propose to you, the staff of the Campus Health Center, a plan to better inform the students at Wayne State University of all that your clinic has to offer. All of the members of our group have sufficient credentials. Emilio, a public health major at Wayne State, has experience in taking measures to look into the validity of everyone's health. This experience helped construct our plan because he was able to contribute his input when creating a survey that we passed around electronically to students both on and off campus. Madeline is majoring in Global Studies, which tackles a wide variety of topics both locally and globally. One important topic of her major discusses health and the access which is given to everyone, along with how administrations and governments are including it in everyone's day-to-day lives. She has been an essential part of Group 1's research, specifically finding articles and getting outside information about other advertising tactics from different campus health centers. Razib is a mechanical engineering student who is excited to take the time to understand the medical field, their advertisement strategies, and how they can incorporate into his desired field of work as he progresses through Group 1's research topic. He knows how to work through computer and technical issues our group has had so far, and puts forth his best efforts to be an active participant in all areas of the work that we have done so far. Matthew is an electrical engineering major, and while this project may not have a direct relation to his major, the biomedical aspect of electrical engineering is very important to the campus health clinic. Wayne State offers a biomedical option for electrical engineering that gives him an introduction to the medical field. This aspect of his degree involves the development of medical tools that assist in diagnosing medical illnesses. I am a chemical engineering major, and my major involves analyzing processes of various degrees while finding new ways to improve these processes. Determining which information is valid and essential is just one of the aspects our group is trying to implement for the Campus Health Center. And one way we did this is through the survey that we created for students at Wayne State University. Our main goal in this presentation is to inform you, the Campus Health Center staff, on areas where we think students could benefit from your organization but haven't quite been exposed to all the services that you have to offer. Therefore, to make sure students are taking full advantage of their health center on campus, it is vital to advertise and market for the campus health clinics on and off campus. A student's lack of awareness of their health clinics' accessibility, affordability, and services hurts both parties. We believe the health clinic can be more successful in caring for a wider range of students if the health clinic received the correct amount of exposure, and in this case, more exposure. We would like to present to you a four-part plan. The first part in our plan is to ensure with you that we have looked at the cost of our overall plan. And the second part is to acquire information to include on flyers, along with our strategy for distributing these flyers. The third part is to compile a well thought out email to distribute to students at Wayne State, both on and off campus. And lastly, to meet with Karen Hugh, our current contact within your organization, to discuss possible changes in the Campus Health Center website. Our first member is going to describe to you our first part of the plan.
Cashinero here to talk about Task 1 of our proposal. Task 1 is to ensure the cost of our task is within budget. We want to discuss the most relevant information about the Health Center with Karen Hugh, who is the Marketing and Public Relations Manager for the Campus Health Center. She overviews the marketing and advertising strategy for the Campus Health Center. We then want to acquire a specific number we feel is enough of flyers that need to be printed, which has the new prioritized information on it. The health center would then send an email to the currently enrolled student body compiled with information that Group 1 and collaboration with the health center brainstormed and put together. The email is also important because students always have a personal handheld device with them and are unquestionably going to at some point look at their personal handheld device to see that they have a notification of this email. Group 1 has developed and conducted a user test for the website with students as the participating user. After this test, we wanted to see what parts of the website needed the most attention. Therefore, Group 1 would set up a meeting with the Health Center Advocate Group plus Karen Hugh to target certain areas of the website that Group 1 sees potential for revision. Overall, we want to have more ease of access for students attending the website so that they see what parts they are looking for instead of looking aimlessly at a screen for hours just trying to find out how they can set up an appointment or see if they have any symptoms of illness. This will overall increase the chance of students using the campus health center's website more efficiently. Lastly, the cost of printing the flyers and possible laminates would be included in the monetary cost. Please see the budget section of the proposal document. Task 2 of our proposal is to acquire information to include on these flyers in our distribution process. An online survey conducted and created by Group 1 found that 81.6% of the participants said they knew Wayne State has a health center. However, only 55.3% actually knew where the health center was located, which is nearly half the participants. 51.3% of the participants were not aware that their first visit was free at the health center. This is extremely important for students to see a healthcare provider for anything, whether they are sick or just want a general checkup. Group 1 suggests that the flyer and email have a limited amount of writing or information on it. Due to the flyer had just paragraphs of information on it, that if a student were just seeing it for the first time, they wouldn't give the physical flyer a chance to see what general info was on it. Well, just because due to students having such a busy schedule or having something better to do than reading a random flyer. Therefore, presenting a picture of the building would space out large amounts of writing while also giving the reader a visual in which the flyer and email are referring to. We then want to find areas on campus that are high volume foot traffic, for example being the undergraduate library and the student center. We feel that these areas are key in student gatherings and will ensure that students see a flyer posted. Now here is Razib Das to talk about task 3 of our proposal.
Hi, so my name is Rajiv Das. As my previous partner talked about our proposal along with the text 1 and 2, right now I'll be talking about the text 3. Text 3 is our proposal is to compile a well thought out email to distribute to the student, which means is to communicate with student about our health clinic with the effective method by using online communication resources of the proposal providing insightful information about the usefulness of university health clinic as well as instruction how to utilize health clinic research for one needs. One of the main important for the aspect of compiling a well-written email is to distribute to the student writing precise, detailed information and the instruction within the email, meaning that the email would prior which would have information about the clinic, brief description of the health clinic information to inform student about what service health clinic provide. Include the location of the clinic, which means that it would be beneficial for the upcoming new student as they might not be aware of the where health clinic center is located. It is also included that the process of how to set up the appointment with the clinic, which is an important must-need instruction by providing the information that will allow students to set up their appointment as needed online. Another aspect of compiling a well email is the visualization. An email without attractive writing is not effective. One would simply skip the email, but if the email were to have attractive writing and visualization, student would read the email. Use information in manner way which is eye-catching. So meaning that we'll be including the phrases and words to write the email in a manner which would be eye-catching to the audience, along with the graphic design, visualizing for creating the flyer, showing beneficial information, meaning that the email, the would information would which would grab the attention of the student because it will have the information which are beneficial for the student need. So, historical information. It is always hard to make one interest in reading something or get involved into something, but the data to back up the claim or advertisement, it is also possible to grab the attention of the audience. Effective method we would be utilizing it is using statistical information such as surveying data, including the surveying data in the email flyer to provide insight about the usefulness of the clinic. We would also include the statistical information about the clinic, slightly that the flyer would or within the email would also include the statistical facts about our university clinic. Lastly, even with the information provided with the email, that would not eye-catching or information student if we do not try to manage the important thing, which is time. If we do not deliver the message to the student in the right time frame, it would not be effective as student would just simply skip to the email. Sending email in appropriate i- manner is a must fact that we have to keep in mind. We would be sending email after a student settles in, meaning that we would be sending out email at the beginning of the student college life. Also later into semester one student get settled in so that they would have the time to read of the email and perhaps consider utilizing the beneficial research that has health clinic has to provide it. That being said, my colleague Matthew Konja would explain the text for and the result analysis for this project Health Clinic Center.
My name is Matthew Concha, and I'll be continuing with the discussion. Now, Task 4 was to meet with Karen to discuss any possible changes that could be made to the CHC website. O'Neill conducted a user test on the website. Now, this user test consisted of having 5 users test the website to try to find specific information. Now, one of these users found the information very quickly. 3 of the users found it in relative amount of time, and the last user, which was not very tech savvy, it took a significant amount of time to find the information. Therefore, we give the website a moderate difficulty on the user test. Some of the issues that we found during the user test was that the website was not very intuitive. It didn't follow a certain logical structure that would have made finding certain information much more simple. Next, we found that even if the user did find the correct page for the information, some of the pages were so congested that the information was difficult to find. And lastly, during the user test, we found that we were encountering error messages when clicking on certain links. Now, these error messages were error 404, meaning the page that the user was trying to go to was removed from the website at some point, but the link was never fixed. Next, we'll discuss results and analysis. Now, we polled 76 Wayne State students about their knowledge of the health center. Now, 18.4% of students were not even aware that Wayne State had a health center. Of those students that did know we had a health center, they found via orientation, which is informed at the beginning of the semester when you first start, emails, which at the beginning of the semester, I recall receiving an email. However, I didn't really pay much attention to it and deleted it. I assume many students did the same. And lastly, a lot of students discovered the health center by talking to friends. Now, as you can see from this table, 44.7% of students responded that they were unable to even locate the health center. Now, of the students that did know where it was, they typically found it by chance, meaning they happened to be walking down the street, the parking structure next door is where they happened to park their car, or maybe they were just going to Dunkin' Donuts and they looked out the window. Now, this is one of the key issues that needs to be addressed. Now, the health center offers many services that students are completely unaware of. Some of the most popular services include a free doctor visit. Now, this is probably one of the most important services that they offer due to the fact that even if a student is incapable of affording a visit, they can go and make sure that they're healthy. Also, a student that may be able to afford it, however, thinks that the money could be better spent elsewhere, may skip on a doctor visit. However, this corrects that issue. Now, another popular service is the Condom Club. For a very, very small price, the health center offers condoms to students that need them at a very low cost, and it helps ensure that students are practicing safe sex. Another service that is offered is illness care. So if you get sick, you have a cough, a runny nose, upset stomach, whatever it may be, they can help you with that. They can help you with health promotion, which includes exercising and nutrition type of stuff, as well as routine health care, such as just a checkup or perhaps getting blood work or something along those lines. As a recap, based off our results and analysis, we need to make students more aware of the health center, both that it exists and the location. We need to inform students of the various services so that they are just aware of them and are capable of using them, which makes it easier for students to utilize these perks if they know that they exist. Right. Now I'll send it over to Madeline with the conclusion.
In conclusion, creative marketing strategies or interactive advertisement displays will pique the interest of the health clinic to the Wayne State's general student body, giving an opening to build their trust in clientele. This has been Group 1's goal for this entire project. As a reminder, our proposed program centers around 4 tasks. Those tasks being to ensure our proposed advertising solutions are within budget, to address information to include new or changed advertisement strategies to the email and the flyer, and lastly, to address website malfunctions and usability. Most importantly, however, is to set up a meeting with Hugh to address our changes and to open communication pathways about our concerns before we begin the process. Group 1 will need to discuss the most relevant information about the health center, researching why students fail to access the campus health clinic's accommodations, as well as reasons why they did access the health clinic's accommodations. Each are important factors in correcting marketing strategies. For research and communication will allow us to pinpoint what data interests the students, the clients, and why, helping build the advertising strategy in the flyers and emails. This will allow us to complete our 4 listed tasks. So, once again, for budgeting, to research the cost of flyers, emails, and website changes, we looked at 2 primary variables. time and money. Adding up the cost of both went to around $1,000. And remember, after the first year, seeing these changes will help better the budget for the future. Second, the information to place in our flyers and emails. For the flyers, we should print out the top 2 or 3 pieces of information most students find important pieces of knowledge in the flyer, along with the location and the picture of the health clinic. This will entice students and inform them what the health clinic has to offer, as well as where the health clinic is. So apparently, no one knows where it is. The emails should contain more information on basic things students typically run into, but fail to know where a solution that could be found at the health clinic lies. The email should come out consistently throughout the school year to all enrolled students. Lastly, changes and corrections to the campus health clinic's website to make it more readable, increase usability, and correct 401 errors to better display the health clinic online. Completing our tasks and to continue communication and observance of the effectiveness of the health clinic's advertisement will better students' time at Wayne State and help them succeed further in life. Our health center offers many great services to students that many are unaware of. Aside from the fact that many students do not even know where the health center is, many more do not know about the services they offer, which are important services that could bring a lot of justice to the students throughout their school life. We need to change this. We need our students to know they have a place to rely on that will heal them and teach them better. We want feedback not only on our ideas and proposed programs, but also on how to continue to observe Wayne State's health clinic and their advertisement. We know students will truly benefit from our health clinic and more if we communicate about it to them. The more we communicate, the more we ask questions, the more we listen to their questions, the more use the health clinic will see. Thank you for listening.